Hi everyone. I am proud to say that I work with Krista every day, and it is a real honor for me to introduce you to her. She is my mentor, my boss, obviously, and one of my best friends, and she's super stylish. I'm not just kissing up a little bit, but I can tell you honestly that everyone who meets Krista falls in love with her instantly. She's one of those people, you know, when you're trying to think of a song and you're like, I only know these 3 words, I can't remember it. She'll know the song. She'll probably know the artist, also when it was recorded. Yes, she is. Or if you see an incredible handbag in a store and say, you know what, it had this thing with this handle, she's like, oh, I know who designed that. She knows that sort of stuff. She also is one of those people, if you ever find yourself in need of a pair of shoes, say, go up to her office, under her desk, she's got about 60. You can pick your pair, and she is more than happy to lend you some.
This might not have been a good idea.
Krista knows the hottest food trends, the hottest bands. She has impeccable spelling and grammar abilities. Like, she should have been an English teacher. I'm not even kidding you. And I know, because we've discussed it over a few glasses of wine, that she is extremely fortunate, feels extremely fortunate to be able to have turned her love of pop culture and all things creative into a career as a media entrepreneur and as an executive producer in the world of television. And apparently this place, King City Secondary, can take some credit for her success. She attended the school from 1985 to 1990, and it was here that she developed a love of theater, music, English, math, and computers, which I know sounds like an odd combination because nobody likes math and theater at the same time, like nobody, but she did. And I know it's not traditional, but I think that it's good that she had an eclectic taste in school subjects, because the combination of left and right brain subjects really laid the foundation for what was to come for her professionally. When we chatted about this award, she specifically talked about the guidance from 2 extraordinary people, Larry Lubin and Carol Wells, who was mentioned earlier, who she described as friends and teachers in equal measure. And they gave her the confidence to believe that she could accomplish everything that she attempted in life. And I must thank them as well, because Krista has carried on that tradition at work as well. People lobby to be a part of her production team, and because she is also a friend and a mentor to everybody that she works with. Okay, so a bit about Krista. She traveled to the World's Fair in Brisbane, Australia in 1988 to perform with the school concert and jazz bands, and that whetted her appetite for seeing the world. She attended the University of Western Ontario from 1990 to 1994, where she received a Bachelor of Arts majoring in English with a concentration in film studies. And of course, she was elected president of the Faculty of Arts and held a seat on the University Senate representing arts and music. During her time at Western, she was encouraged by her film professors to pursue writing about film theory. But nobody can make a living doing that, people, right? And she was unsure about how to translate that into a profession. So after graduating, one of Krista's first jobs was as a receptionist at a small television and media company in Markham, Ontario. And within 6 months, and she was 22 at the time, she was producing videos and television shows for major Canadian networks. Krista's always been open to interesting opportunities. She even took a brief hiatus from television to dabble in the world of film as an executive assistant to actress Cate Blanchett, who, by the way, ended up standing up for Krista at Krista's wedding. See, everyone, movie stars included, fall in love with her instantly. Krista has carved out a celebrated career as an executive producer with a reputation as one of Canada's foremost creators of innovative food and lifestyle TV. Her production companies have been responsible for Food Network's flagship series, Christine Cushing Live, and the follow-up celebrity-based program, Christine Cushing Cook With Me. And whether it's fashion, beauty, food, or home decor, Krista really does find joy in producing programs that contribute to making people's lives just a little bit better. And the viewers of the programs she produces are always her chief concern. Most recently, Krista revamped the direction of CBC Television's daytime schedule. She created the daily talk fest Stephen and Chris, and 2 of Canada's most popular food series, best recipes ever, and now most currently in the kitchen with Stefano Faita, which airs Monday to Friday at 3:30. She lives in Toronto with her talented, handsome husband and creative partner, David Childerhouse. He truly is one of the best husbands in the world, and I'm currently working on a way to clone him. And I know that Krista is grateful for the never-ending support of her parents, Marion and Jack, and her brother Blair as well. Personally, I'm thrilled to be able to have had this time to tell you about Krista because she is one of the most important people in my life. She hired me at the CBC about 5 years ago, and I've worked on her projects with her ever since. And without her, I would not be where I am today. She makes me want to be better at my job, and I know that if I ever needed her, she would be there. And I have to say one thing about Krista before she comes up here. There's one really annoying thing about Krista Look. And that is, she can work all day and all night, and she often does do that, and then show up the next day looking like a supermodel. Honestly, like, she puts the rest of us to shame. And I also have to say before I go that when I was talking about doing this, I talked to a lot of the people that we work with, just to find out what they had to say about her. And the overwhelming sentiment was that Krista encourages everyone to do the best job that they can because she works harder than anybody else on the team. Which brings me to a quote by Thomas Watson, who was the founder of IBM, who said, "Nothing so conclusively proves a man's ability to lead others as what he does from day to day to lead himself." Thank you.
Thank you, Portia. We were hoping to find somebody to introduce her who was a little less dull. You got through it. Thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Imelda Marcos, the case of distinction, who I'm sure would like to say a few words in her defense. Krista, please.
Until 9:30 last night, and Portia and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. Until 9:30, I'm TV, come on, we ad-lib this all the time. I'm doing this without a speech. Okay, so 9:30 last night, someone got writing, and this is what I had to say and what I came up with. So thank you, Portia. My goodness, what amazing words. And I think I owe somebody a raise. It's broadcast, it's public taxpayer money, half of it anyway, so I'll be judicious in my dispensing. So now I'm used to being the one behind the scenes, and this is an odd thing for me to be doing. I'm used to telling my hosts what to say and writing words for them. So speaking in front of you is a bit humbling, I must say. And I've never worked with an iPad as a teleprompter before, so this is new for me. I'm honored to receive such a prestigious award for my accomplishments, especially when, since I was at KCSS, I didn't even know that being a TV producer was a real job. I still don't, but don't tell anybody because I won't say anything for it. I've always loved television and movies and music, and my older brother, who was kind enough to nominate me for this award, he and I were obsessed with pop culture, we consumed all we could, and our parents, Jack and Marion, most supportive people in the world, they never discouraged us. And many people say, oh, don't watch too much TV. In that day, there were computers, we weren't on them quite as much as we are today, but they never discouraged us from learning all we could, from experiencing all we could, no matter what the medium, and bless them for that. Our parents taught us to seize every opportunity. They didn't just tell us anything was possible, they showed us anything was possible. I can't look my dad and say And I can't imagine a high school that could have offered more opportunity than King City Secondary School. It's here that I spent a rich, rewarding 5 years, the same rich tradition that Todd spoke about earlier, and that formed the building blocks of everything that I've accomplished since. The school concert and jazz bands, I participated in both. They taught me the joy and the benefits of working as a team. Traveling to the World's Fair in Australia in 1988 with Jim Corbett to perform at the Canadian Pavilion, it was an incredible highlight of my time here at KCSS. And I gotta say, how many schools offer students an opportunity like that? It's extraordinary. The University of Waterloo Math Contest with Jim Johnson. They had intimidating names, these contests, like Fermat and Pascal. And I was in a group of guys who would do it every year, and we all did it together. They taught me problem solving and a love of numbers that I still carry with me today. I love budgets, and no one understands why. My English teachers taught me how to write and write creatively, and thanks to Mrs. Hashem, using proper grammar. As Portia said, I am the ambassador for excellent grammar. I still put yous as you in text, but when it comes to writing a script, when it comes to writing anything that will be consumed by the public, I insist on using impeccable grammar. And even typing and word processing, all before the age of the internet here at KCSS, it taught me that I could type, which has been the secret to my career, and I can type really fast. And very quick story, there was one day, I believe I was in grade 10, and I was walking the hallways, just leaving my last class for the morning, and I heard my name over the intercom, and I'd never been called to the office in my life. And I went, oh God, oh no, what have I done? I hadn't done anything, of course, but as you think, what does someone think I've done? So I go there, and there was my teacher, Mrs. Patafio, and she was with the principal at the time, and they said, we need you. And I said, you need me for what? And they said, today is the Ontario Word Processing Championships. And I said, what's that? And they said, well, one of your fellow students was supposed to be here today and participate on behalf of our school. There are thousands of these participants all across Ontario, and she's sick today, so we need you to step in and do this exam for her. I said, but I don't even know what it is. They said, well, we trust you can do it. We bet you can do it. And I said, but what do you do? They said, it's word processing, just give it a go. And just, that's all we ask is that you do your best. You always do. So they took me into the small room that I didn't even knew existed in this school. It had no windows. It was in the middle of nowhere behind the typing room. And a teacher sat with me, and at 12 o'clock on the dot, you cracked open a manila envelope, and out came this about 9-page exam, and they put it in front of me, and they said, go, with a computer. I was so intimidated, my heart was racing, but it was probably better I didn't know what I was going to do that day, or I would have psyched myself out. 4 weeks later, in front of my class, Mrs. Patafio announced, not only did Krista do her best, she did the best. She is the word processing champion of Ontario. But it's encouragement like that, that you can't buy, you can't plan, you can't ask for, and that's what I got at KCSS. But my biggest influence was perhaps the drama department, as everyone has alluded to so far. My drama and stagecraft classes, stagecraft was behind the scenes sort of crafting of the stage, as it indicates in the name. Those classes reinforced for me the importance and the value of the arts. Having a lead role in 2 school plays when I didn't have the confidence to put myself up for those roles myself gave me different perspectives of a production, both on stage and behind the scenes. The teachers you've heard named, Larry Lubin and Carol Wells, convinced me I had talent to offer and encouraged me to share it. But nothing builds confidence in a young person more than not having to ask for that kind of encouragement. I've now spent over 16 years as a producer and an executive producer of lifestyle television, and the owner of my own production company, working for some of the top networks in the country. I have no formal TV production training whatsoever, 0. That's never really seemed to matter, because all the life skills that I learned at KCSS, teamwork, problem solving, right and left brain thinking, but mostly an appreciation for creativity, have brought me to where I am today. My job is to make television that is positive, talk shows and cooking shows that make people's lives just that little bit better every day. And I hear that from viewers every day, and that's what buoys us as a team and as people. And that's just doing what I love, which doesn't seem like a job at all. And for that, I'm truly grateful. So thank you to my amazing family, Jack and Mary, my mom and dad, my brother who is in Dubai, an amazing banker and I'm sure future inductee into that wall. And thank you to my amazingly creative TV producer husband David and his family, Mom Norman Marion. I have 2 Marions in my life, how do you like that? Marion A.N., Marion O.N. And many colleagues like my dear friend Portia Corman, who I'm proud to say is one of my best friends. I'm proud to say almost all my team are some of my best friends. And I also thank the faculty of KCSS for the years I was here. I hope the very best for all of us is yet to come, but please stay tuned. At 2 o'clock for Stephen and Chris, 3:30 for Best Recipes, 3 o'clock for Best Recipes Ever, and 3:30 for our new show on CBC Television. Always